million albums sold globally. Record-breaking concerts, turning cities into symphonies, from the pyramids of Egypt to the Eiffel Tower here in France. He's a visionary who still pushes the boundaries where art meets technology and now artificial intelligence, or as he calls it, augmented imagination. He built the future of sound. Please give it up for Jean-Michel Jarre! Jean-Michel Jarre. Thank you so much. You see that mic, or am I using that one, Sunny?
Yes.
That one too is working.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. Welcome, Jean-Michel.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. We're so excited to have you here. Okay, let's start because we haven't got much of your time. You've always been a storyteller, blending technology, art, music, and spectacle. How do you see these elements kind of interacting in today's world?
I think first of all, I'm a thief. Artists are thieves who are stealing what we hear, what we see, what we are reading. And in that aspect, I mean, AI is an opportunity. AI for me is a modern news. It's allowing to widen the frontiers of my imagination. And we should not be afraid of innovation. It's funny because it's almost in the human DNA to think that yesterday was better, tomorrow is going to be worse. Well, it's not true. Otherwise, we won't be here. And as my grandmother was saying, I mean, we can't stop the progress. On n'arrête pas le progrès. So the earlier we embrace it, the earlier we can explore it, the earlier we can use it, exploiting it, and eventually fighting against its negative effects.
Exactly, and you call artificial intelligence augmented imagination. How do you think it can enhance creativity?
You know, innovation has always been a key for creation. No violin, no Vivaldi, no camera, no Tarantino or no Christopher Nolan. No electricity, no Jimi Hendrix, no Billie Eilish, no Bad Bunny. And no electronic components, no electronic music, no Jean-Michel Jarre. So.
Exactly.
So we see that technology is a catalyst for any kind of new art form, and not the reverse. So of course, for us, technology is an ally, and AI is going to generate the genre of music, of movies, of images of the future. There's no doubt about it. So we have to wake up, and we have also to consider AI as a disruptive opportunity, positive opportunity. And of course, we shouldn't be naive about it, because you have also IP, intellectual properties issues, that I'm sure we could discuss briefly at that session.
Shall I say for sure? No, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so as a long-time advocate for creator rights, talking about author rights, what are the key challenges you think in implementing AI in a way that respects author rights and copyright in general?
You know, we'll take an example. In a smartphone, the smart part is us. In AI, the smart part is also us. Without our content, without images, without sound, without music, without graphics, without words, AI would be just harvesting the dictionary. It will be an empty architecture. So in this new digital K 3.0 that is actually in work in progress at the moment, we have to be partners, not just spectators. And we should sit around the table and say, okay, the value of the valorization of all these companies won't be the same without us. So we are actually your partners. And this is a way not to fight, but just to understand that AI at the moment is the Wild West, the Far West, and we just need the rules. David Lisnard was talking about the fact that we are the kings and queens of regulations, but I know that rules on the other side, on the other hand, is what create the difference between chaos and democracy. We need rules. I mean, we have a driving license. It's because we have a driving license that we can drive safely in the world. And then we need rules for AI. And I think in a sense, because we became specialists of regulations and norms, we have been pioneers in terms of IP and intellectual property to protect artists. And I think we have a major role to play in the near future vis-à-vis AI, not to limit AI, but actually to make it an opportunity to create a real renaissance for artists.
Exactly, and actually you say that AI could create the next artistic movement. What sort of exciting new worlds are there for art, music, performance in general, would you say?
Actually, I think we should not be naive, as I said, in terms of AI, but also I think we can understand that it's a fantastic opportunity to democratize creativity. In a few weeks, Marco Landi and with David Lisnard and the City of Cannes is going to launch a second edition of WAICF, the World AI Film Festival. It's a very good example to see that these days some young creators they can actually achieve movies with just a few dollars, because AI will allow tomorrow lots of young creators who couldn't dream even 5-10 years ago to create to make their dream true. And with AI, it's the opportunity, for instance, for lots of emerging countries. I'm in contact with lots of young African artists, for instance, and creators. Suddenly AI allows them to create their own movies and to create not only their own project, but also to create an ecosystem in their country. And this is something that actually France and Europe can also emphasize and promote.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think it's fair to say that the music and movie industries are quite conservative when it comes to tech. Sometimes they're afraid of tech, right?
Absolutely.
So how do you think they can learn to embrace innovation and maybe have some fun along the way?
Yeah, it's very true, Sarah. I think that it's quite strange that in our society, ironically, as a paradox, the world of cinema and music are probably the most conservative. They are all sectors, they're all in their own lane, and they are afraid of any kind of disruptive elements. And it reminds me that at the beginning of photography, painters made petitions against photography, saying photography is the end of painting. Then later on, at the beginning of cinema, theater considered theater as a threat, as we said. So it's always the same thing, and AI is not about just killing jobs, because as David Lisnard said it very truly, it's just moving from one side to another in terms of jobs. I would give an example. For instance, for post-synchronization in cinema, where people are actually dubbing in their own language the work of some actors, they are going to move in something else, in some other jobs. But at the same time, the next Brad Pitt, when you listen Brad Pitt or Karim Viard or Marion Cotillard in Japan, they will be their own voice, and not the kind of local voice that makes us, when you are coming from their country, quite smiling. And then you are going to be so more precise in the way you can express your art form because of AI, for musicians, for filmmakers, for actors, for everybody. So I think it's really, as I said, an augmented imagination opportunity.
I think it's fascinating, and actually AI is being used with neuroscience, composing from the brain, augmenting individuality, as you just mentioned. Your take, how do you see AI enhancing our personal creative voices?
Actually, thank you, Sarah, to mention that, because actually we are very happy to welcome at this forum today Professor Li, the head of the Chinese Conservatoire of the Beijing School of Music, who created a department called Music, AI and Neuroscience. And I'm very happy to have a discussion with him later on at the Alan Turing room at 1 o'clock, I think, and to talk about the importance of approaching, for instance, in music, to approaching AI as a new solfeggio, and also the importance and the involvement of neuroscience and in AI. I've been really, I was in Beijing and visiting him, visiting the Beijing Conservatoire of Music a few weeks ago, and I've been actually impressed by I'm so happy that he will share his experience with us, because of the fact that suddenly you can understand that AI is not standardizing creativity. It's exactly the reverse. AI can actually help any individual to improve himself very quickly. One example, for instance, AI can, they created some gloves, robotic elements, able to teach for young students when you are studying, for instance, cello or violin, right at the beginning, to get to not to have the wrong position of your hands, but to be able regarding your morphology, because your hand, my hand, or the hand of anybody in the room is specific, is different. And then, if you just have a standard approach of the instruments, necessarily you will have wrong positions. And this is a very good example, very simple example, to show how AI can help individual development and not exactly at the reverse of what we could say in France, in Europe at the moment, where there is a kind of negative attitude about AI, thinking that it's going to be the starting of a kind of dystopian future. It's not the case. We should never forget that it's not the tool which is a problem, it's the way you use it. So the pencil is not the problem, it's the guy or the girl behind the pencil.
Exactly, so AI augmenting individuality, fascinating. And to finish and wrap up, I mean, if there's one inspiring message that you want artists, audiences around the world, and technologies to kind of take away from this festival about artificial intelligence and creativity.
Afraid of innovation, don't be afraid of AI, and enjoy. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,